Well, Governor Romney now accusing President Obama of failing to admit to Americans, he said, how the U.S. consulate in Libya was attacked. Here's Governor Romney in a Fox News interview yesterday.
The White House and the President are continuing not to admit what their own administration is saying. And I think it's pretty clear that they haven't wanted to level with the American people. Look, we expect candor from the President and transparency. And he continues to refuse to acknowledge what is said by the other members of his administration. This was a terrorist attack. We were attacked, apparently, by Al-Qaeda. And it's a very troubling development.
Well, that's true. We've gotten some mixed messages. Alan Colmes joins me now, the host of the Alan Colmes radio show. Gretchen Hamel is a former spokeswoman to the House Republican Conference. She's also the executive director at Public Notice. You know, as Governor Romney rightly points out in this case, it has been called terrorism by some folks within the administration. Jay Carney said it was self-evident that it was terrorism. And then the president on The View said, you know, we don't really know yet what happened. Alan, is that discrepancy worth pursuing?
No, it's not. I mean, Jay Carney speaks for the president. Clearly, Mitt Romney is crassly playing politics here, and it's really hilarious to see Mitt Romney use the word transparency and ask for candor and transparency when his campaign has done exactly the opposite on a whole range of issues. He's the one who jumped to conclusions at the very beginning of this, before we even had all the facts, and in fact accused the president and the administration of apologizing for America when nothing of that sort ever happened. I think he's hurting the country by this kind of divisiveness, by playing politics during an international incident like this.
I mean, but it all boils down to something quite serious, which is whether or not Al-Qaeda is really still a threat in this area. And don't we need to, Gretchen, acknowledge that it is if Al-Qaeda was behind this?
I think we do. I mean, listen, the administration has been on all sides of the issue. They said it's spontaneous. They've then said, no, this is an act of terror. Are they being honest with the Americans, or are they basically inept on this issue and inept on Middle East issues? And I think that's something that they need to answer. This administration has had a problem of being honest with the American public, honest in where we are in our fiscal crisis, honest with where we are in our Middle East plans here, and they haven't really told us what we need to be doing. And I think it brings into question that just killing Osama bin Laden is not enough, that there actually has to be some policy here.
This is a president who's gone after more and gotten more Al-Qaeda leaders than any other president. And
I guess that would be one Bush policy that he would like to take credit for.
It's also laughable. It's also laughable to say that the president spent on all sides of an issue when his opponent is Mitt Romney. I mean, this is not working out well for Romney.
Alan, if I may, hold on, Gretchen. You're speaking, Alan, in a lot of generalities here, and I have a very specific question, and it is: do the American people have the right to know what happened at that consulate?
Absolutely.
Because it seems as though we're dancing around it. We have an American ambassador who is dead. We have 3 people, 2 of them former Navy SEALs, who we were originally led to believe were on security detail for Chris Stevens, which is not the case at all. Where's the DNI? Where's Hillary Clinton on this? Where's the announcement by the president about how this investigation is going?
I think that, first of all, there is an investigation. Secondly, the president doesn't report to the American people if we don't have all the facts.
He doesn't report to the American people? Isn't he elected by the American people?
And then you can go.
Can I please finish?
Go, Alan, yes.
The president is not going to report to the American people till we have all the facts. And unlike Mitt Romney, who jumped to conclusions, I think it would be wrong for the administration or the president to jump to conclusions before we know everything. He's been very tough on Al-Qaeda. You can't blame him. He's had a great record of going after Al-Qaeda leaders, not just bin Laden, but he's killed a number of almost all the top Al-Qaeda guys.
Well, it would appear that there are some who are alive and well and working in Benghazi.
He didn't kill everybody.
That's fine, but we have to call it what it is, recognize what happened on the ground there, and we have to address it. And the president, you know, is in a position to talk to us about it and to be very honest. Gretchen, your turn.
I think the president does need to level with the American public and tell us what he does know. I think when it comes to our national security, that it's something that is still very personal to every American out there. We want to make sure that this nation is being taken care of, and I think the president needs to tell us what he does know. Yes, he can search for all the facts, but we need to know. He needs to be tough on the Middle East, and he needs to have a Middle East policy that works.
You know, this is outrageous the way your side, Gretchen, is playing politics with this.
It's not.
Because all you want to do is win an election.
It's about being honest. It's about having our national security.
You're simply using this to try to win an election.
No. If we were trying to use something, it would be the economy to win the election.
Well, that's not working out so well for you, is it?
But Alan, let me ask you this. You know, in terms of Hillary Clinton, She was, very outspoken. We heard from her right away when all of this happened. Yeah. Would you not want to hear a little bit more about what's really going on the ground when you see what Chris Stevens was concerned about? And that goes back to the main question: is there a resurgence and a threat from Al-Qaeda in this area that may have emerged because of the Arab Spring? And what are we doing to address it and to understand it?
I don't think we know the full answer to that question yet, and I think we need to get all the facts in amid the chaos of this horrific event before we can give honest and direct answers until we get all the facts together. That's my answer.
All right, Alan Colmes, Gretchen Hamel, thank you very much. We'll continue to pursue this. We know that members of Congress are pursuing it, and we'll see where it leads. Thanks to you both.
Thank you.
Mitt Romney's faith is under attack from a leader